Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is my face from the previous day of walking over 12 miles. If you missed that one, go ahead and check that out after this video. I had a little bit of time to flow with my silk fans in the lobby before heading out and getting picked up by our friend and guide, Keiichi-san. Today we were going to go to TeamLab Planets in Tokyo and also Disney Sea. I am going to split this day up into two so that Disney Sea is its own video because otherwise it would be too long. But we're also going to take a sneak peek at the LifeSize Gundam and then head over and close the day out with some delicious yakiniku barbecue. TeamLab Planets Tokyo is an art facility that utilizes digital technology and was established by TeamLab and DMM.com. It's located in Toyosu, Koto City in Tokyo. Originally, it was supposed to only have exhibitions until the end of 2020, but it extended until the end of 2022, and again, it has been extended until the end of this year, 2023. It is such a beautiful, immersive space that they have created, and it reminds me a lot about Burning Man. If you guys don't know about Burning Man, you can check my recap video coming out soon from last year's Burn Waking Dreams back to TeamLab Planets. This is a space where it's all about interaction with each artwork and feeling how you emote in each of the spaces. The projection that we see outside looks like lava, but it's called the universe of water particles falling from the sky. It's the first thing to bring you into the type of installation art that they are going to be showing you in this modern museum. You have to take your shoes off and roll up your pants or change into shorts and leave everything in your lockers because it's going to be dark, it's going to have a lot of textures, and be prepared to towel off yourselves because there are wet spaces.
At least it's warm.
The first space that you can expect to be in is this waterfall of light particles at the top of an incline, and this is really smart. They chlorine the water lightly so that everybody who steps into this is actually cleaned off before going into the artwork. In July of 2020, marking the 2 years of them being open, 1.8 million people had already visited the museum. Next is the soft black hole, and your body becomes a space that influences another body. This is extremely true because it was like bean bags and really soft, squishy textures that you had to kind of crawl your way through without standing up very easily, and the gravity of your body does actually influence the person beside you. The Infinite Crystal Room is by far the prettiest room out of all of them. This kind of reminds me of Yayoi Kusama's artwork of the Infinity Mirrors that was here at the Broad Museum in Los Angeles. There are LED strips that hang from the ceiling and everywhere is incredibly mirrored. There's dazzling patterns that happen as well as sound to accompany. If you look up or down, and not many people do, but I caught this, you could actually have you and your party be the only ones to be looking up at the time that you take your photo.
Get in a circle. And look up. Look up, look up. Damn it. Get lit, fam.
Girl?
Drawing on the water surface created by the dance of koi and people is an infinite loop of projected flower petals and koi that are swimming, and as you get close to the projections, they actually swim away from you, so you have like a space and presence inside the water. The water is really nice and kind of milky so that you can actually see the projections on top of the liquid.
Perfect. I see you right there. No, yeah, that light is the only thing on you.
The next thing we experienced was the expanding three-dimensional existence in transforming space, flattening 3 colors and 9 blurred colors free-floating. These were huge balls that you could hit in the middle of if they have a little disc, and you could change the colors. It plays on the fact that there are 3 RGB colors, and then you can kind of make the secondary, or like as the title mentions, blurring of colors as you interact with the space. It was very meditative, and I could have sat here and just thought about life for a really long time. Go. All right.
Okay, go. Ah, go. Try to step fast so I can change it. That's about it. That's about it.
Color master.
Also, it seems like each one changes it to a different color. This one adds the red, yellow, and blue. So say red, the next one should be blue, and then yellow, and then red, blue, and then if you get to at the same time, they like mix.
Oh. Next was floating in the falling universe of flowers. Oh my gosh, this one was so beautiful. I've been in spaces that are domed like this, but a lot of people actually sat down or laid down because it kind of gave you vertigo if you stood up for a while and just stared at all of the moving petals. As you're closer to the ground, you can also appreciate the view of the projections as it flows throughout the space, doubled by looking down at the mirrored floor as well. Fallouts to flowers.
30 fallouts to flower.
Oh my god. By taking a left by the beginning, where you end up looping back towards after you see the first few pieces of art, there are 2 more that you can go to that rely more on sunlight and daylight. These are the Moss Garden of Resonating Microcosms, Solidified Light Color Sunrise and Sunset. This moss garden reminded me of like a technological Jurassic Park. It's really cool, and you could kind of move the steel eggs and they make a sound, and there's fog that permeates through the space and kind of gives you like a gentle greenhouse feel. land. The floating flower garden, flowers and I are of the same root. The garden and I are one. The floating flower garden was my absolute favorite. It was just so magical to see alive, literally living flowers dangling, and as you approach them, they lift as curtains. The space before that, the waiting area, has infinite mirrors, and so time went by extremely fast. It didn't seem like you were waiting for anybody because it's timed by groups, because otherwise everybody would just stay there. But yeah, I just took a lot of really cool photos that resonated with how I believe humans should interact with nature and respect it. Approaching flowers.
Yeah.
So when you go near it, it goes up. We only spent a couple of hours here as we really needed to head to Disney Sea. I really do hope that you enjoyed this really brief recap and highly recommend that you make your own journey over here because things are obviously way more exciting in person than through photos. But oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this side quest. Since our guide Keiichi-san used to have his own racing team and he knew that my partner is a master tech for the automotive industry, we made a surprise stop to a pit Autobox or Autobox Shinonome. It is a giant auto parts store. That's like the Disneyland for the automotive fanatics. And it's also known as the Emporium for gearheads. I actually bought a couple things here as some of the Tomica cars that were limited edition were sold out in other places. My partner bought a couple stickers, a bandana, and some other things that he could take home and gift to some of his fellow technicians. You don't have a cup of noodle in there, huh? No. Yeah, unfortunately, some of the cars were still sold out, but I got really cute ones that suited my fancy. They even had stuff for outdoors because people like to adventure and camp. Really loved these leather gloves, but I'm not a race car driver, nor do I have that kind of paycheck, so I just window shop through the display case. Okay, enough shiny. Now on to Disney Sea. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I will be splitting off Disney Sea into its own video because it's quite an adventure on its own. So go check that out next week. But for now, we are going to skip over to the next site, which is the LifeSize Gundam in Diver City. The life-sized Unicorn Gundam statue is a full-scale statue of the RX-0 Unicorn Gundam from the series Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. It was installed outside Odaiba's Diver City Tokyo Plaza in Koto City, Aomi in Tokyo, Japan. It replaced the previous statue of the RX-78-2 Gundam. Bruh. So lit. LifeSize Gundam. The 18-meter high, aka 59-foot tall life-size moving Gundam, was opened for public viewing in December of 2020. It is originally slated to close on March 31st of 2023. It was only planned to be open for a limited time. Bruh. It is also right next to this amazing staircase. Get lit, bruh. These stairs were so much easier to take photos and videos of just because of the sheer amount of light emanating from these. Everybody sit on a step. We took a group photo here and I called it the Rainbow Rodeo.
I'm zoomed out. You got things happening.
I do really want these in my house though. Imagine a grand staircase leading from your foyer up to your rooms like this. It was freezing cold. Literally had to have my hands inside my jacket the whole time because the wind was so strong. So we didn't stay too long here and it was time to head back to the car. Quick side note though, I love all the magical sounds that are happening on the staircase and at the Gundam. Doing a full walk around this dude. Next up was Shiokaze Park. This is a public park that was a temporary beach volleyball sport venue for the 2020 Summer Olympics, located in Tokyo. You can see the view of the Rainbow Bridge from here, a suspension bridge crossing northern Tokyo Bay between Shibaura Pier and the Odaiba waterfront development in Minato. Not sure what Japan has with the obsession with Lady Liberty, but there's a lot of replicas that we've found since the beginning of our trip.
That's the TV station.
Oh. Moon, stairs, Rainbow Bridge. If you guys have seen Weathering with You, the anime movie, this is the Rainbow Bridge that she kind of prays in front of. I named this band photo the Odaiba Odivers.
You got the clownfish. They have the whole Finding Nemo squad in here.
Yeah, didn't you see the angelfish? That's the guy with the scar. Then it was finally time for dinner. We were going to have yakiniku with Wagyu beef. Yakiniku means grilled meat in the broadest term, as it refers to a type of barbecue. It used to refer to like a Western style, but it's become popularized by a Japanese writer. Made in Japan. Keiichi-san's son, Tomoyo-san, helped us cook our food. You can't cook Wagyu too long on the grill as it will ruin the meat. Wagyu is special because it has a beautiful marbling of fat integrated in with the meat, and so you take a piece of fat to oil up the grill, and then you don't really leave the pieces of meat on for more than 3 minutes for both sides. You just want the grill marks to be barely there. The sound of the sizzle is just music to my ears.
Fancy for Rollin.
Yeah, I love the presentation.
Meat coat.
My lemon maiden.
And mix the raw egg.
Like our Kyoto trip, you can also eat the Wagyu by itself with sauce or with a raw egg. The raw egg is the best way to go as it's the creamiest texture out of all of them and really enhances the fattiness and the flavors in the beef. We had a couple of fried accompaniments with some soup and a fried rice. And after we filled our bellies with beef, then it was time to head out after checking out these little fishies in the aquarium. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This is part 1 of day 8. And so check out next week for Disney Sea, as that is what happens between TeamLab planets and the LifeSize Gundam. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it so that other people can find out what to do in Japan while they are visiting. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I have new content out next. I've been posting every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Follow my social media so that you don't miss anything. Until next time, keep curious, everyone. Jack out.